Intelligent question.
The best way to learn is to learn from others who already know, right? If you want to play harmonium, then best to learn from somebody who's already an expert. So best to always learn from somebody who's already a master, no matter what the subject matter is. And then experience comes by following the instructions of the teacher, because then we do what they ask us to do, and then it becomes, then we know what the teacher said, it's true, because I'm experiencing now that what the teacher said is true. So then it becomes, then we become fully convinced. So in any area of life, one needs a teacher, and it's always good to get the best teachers that we know that they will give us the best education, whatever the field is, and then we follow that, and we get the experience that we're hoping to get, which is we become good at something ourselves, whatever it may be. So, yeah, I saw her. Yeah. Mhm. There's also there's four ways to learn. The best way to learn is learn from the expert or the master, right? The second way to learn, which is not so good, is from somebody who's had experience already. Maybe they're not a master, but they had some experiences, and then you learn from their experiences. Like a thief, Prabhupada gives example. Intelligent person knows that if I steal, then I'll get into trouble. I may get into trouble. I may get into serious trouble. Then another person may think that simply by knowing that this is the law and I should follow, they don't care so much about that, but they see that somebody else has gotten into trouble by stealing. So then say, oh, that person, my friend, got into trouble by stealing, so I will not steal. Right? So that's another way to learn. Then the third way to learn is somebody else gets into trouble by stealing. Our parents, our teachers tell us, don't steal, but we don't listen to our parents, teachers. We don't learn from the mistakes of others, and then we say, no, I want to find out for myself. So then I steal something myself, and then I get into trouble. So which is not a good way to learn, right? We should have learned already by what we were told by our teachers or parents and by what we saw. So the third way is not so good. Then the fourth way is that we don't listen to good instruction, we don't learn from the mistakes of others, we don't even learn from our own mistakes, and then we keep repeating the same mistakes. Then we get into big trouble. But all of you are very intelligent, nice people, so I'm sure you learn quickly by hearing good instruction from others. So all the girls on the stage, they're doing kartals, madanga, harmonium. They all look so nice. They should all be given nice nice encouragement and applause. Okay. I want to ask something just quickly, and we won't go for long today because we had so many long sessions already. But the topic for today, there's an order that's been given to all those who have somehow who are connected with the heritage of India. Order is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's Krishna himself. So what is that order? Microphone you have? So what is the translation and explanation?
So if you are fortunate to be born in Bharat Bhumi as a human being, you have to make your life perfect first of all, and then you have to help others make life perfect.
So what if I'm thinking, oh, my life is not perfect, and then I keep waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting? Then what do we do?
Whatever you know,
yes, that's right. Whatever we know, we share with others. So we have a duty. Those who are connected with the heritage of India have a very different duty than anybody else. Very different duty. That is to understand what our heritage is in these bodies, understand the order of Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna and Lord Chaitanya, and then get on this path to make our lives perfect. And as we get on this path, by helping others, that's one of the most important ways to become perfect ourselves, by helping others. So even these little girls, young girls, they can help others by sharing what they know. And Prabhupada gives that example. So one of the ways to achieve perfection is, of course, to practice ourselves, but by sharing with others, that really escalates the speed at which we can make progress ourselves. Another very important thing is that Srila Prabhupada has said that there's two countries that if they cooperate, the whole world can be changed and saved. Which are those two countries? East and West, India and America especially. So what is the example he gave for if India and America cooperate? Blind man and lame man. So the responsibility falls on all Indians also to bring about that partnership. This movement would not have spread if the Americans had not partnered with Srila Prabhupada or agreed to help him. In India he tried, nobody was helping. He didn't want to go to London, but he came to New York. And it was the American boys and girls that helped him spread Krishna consciousness. All of you would not be here if it wasn't for the American devotees. I would not be here. She would not be here. Of course, she was born in this country, but those that went ahead of her, they're the ones who made all this available to us. The opening of the temples, the Sunday feast, the editing of the books, the publishing of the books, publishing of the magazines, going around the streets. So they're the ones who helped us. Then sending the books to India, then opening temples in India. all the devotees in India who joined because the American devotees went there. So it's a very important, and it's a proven partnership. It's already been proven. Because then the American boys and girls, they went to Europe, they went to South America, they went to Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, even Russia, when the Iron Curtain was still there, communism was still there. So now in 2019, 2020, all of us have to figure out how to make that partnership even stronger. That partnership has become weak if we think of the old model, that partnership has become weak. But the Americans are taking to yoga and meditation and vegetarianism. We talked about this the other day. And they're talking about karma, they're talking about self-realization like never before. And then this morning after you left, I actually watched the whole talk given by Trump at the Houston event. It was just by chance. I don't know how it came up on my phone because I'm not looking for these things, but it just came up that I knew he was coming, Prime Minister Modi, but I'd forgotten the date and all. So somehow it just came up on the phone. So I watched him introduce Trump, and then President Trump spoke for, I think, 20 minutes or so. I don't know if some of you watched. And then Prime Minister Modi, he spoke for about the same time. And it was the energy was incredible. And that was my realizations. The partnership that they're dreaming of, that they're sharing. I think this is an era where that partnership can be really taken advantage of. So, and then the success of the NRIs in the US, all of you here in Silicon Valley, you were telling me out of maybe greater Silicon Valley, 4 or 5 million people, 500,000 are from India. That's a very substantial number of people, So this partnership has to be really recreated on different levels now. And that partnership has to be used to help the whole world. Modi has made statements like that in the past. Trump has also made statements like that this partnership can really have a very important positive change effect on the world. So, having said those things, if the world is going to seek guidance or get the wisdom that comes from India, who is the person who's going to give guidance to the leaders of the world? Who is the person who's capable of doing that? Only Srila Prabhupada can do it. And that's not because we have taken shelter of him. It's a fact. He is the one who convinced by his teachings, by his personal example. He's the one who convinced the Americans first, starting in 1966, 67. And then those Americans became so enthusiastic and dedicated to him that they went all over the world introducing Srila Prabhupada to the rest of the world, including in India. So Srila Prabhupada is the person who can actually guide the leaders of the world. So that means amongst the Indian population, I think it's 20 or 30 million outside India, and then 1.3 billion in India. Don't they have to first completely recognize that Srila Prabhupada is the super eminent saint and scholar who has appeared in India? Don't they have to recognize that first? Isn't it our duty to show the world, to convince the world by first becoming convinced ourselves and then convincing the 15, 20? Prabhupada said the Indians are our best allies. We already have it. He said, "We're Krishna consciousness for those who are connected to India is just underneath the skin." Just underneath the skin. There's already a lot of Krishna consciousness inherent in our genes. So we have to promote Srila Prabhupada all over India and then all over the NRI community all across the world. If they recognize, we don't want to criticize others. Prabhupada could do that, whether it's in the past or present, but we simply just glorify Srila Prabhupada and promote him as the especially empowered and gifted and capable teacher, advisor, saint, and scholar. Has somebody who has to offer to the world the guidance that will change every life on the planet and make everyone's life better. We're not concerned, white, black, young, old, Christian, Muslim, Jew, Hindu. That's not of concern to us. We see everybody as part and parcel of Krishna. So by promoting Srila Prabhupada and convincing, and more people are seeing that. Even people like Prime Minister Modi, he is seeing the unique contribution and the unique position of Srila Prabhupada through Akshapatra, but also in other ways. There's other things that are going on in the BJP and the RSS group in India, where Prabhupada is coming into eminence within that group. And in the US we have Tulsi Gabbard as a congressperson who's bringing Prabhupada into that arena of senators and congressmen and officials. So we have to learn how to promote Srila Prabhupada in a way that people are actually amazed. They have to be amazed. And there is a reason to be amazed, and Prabhupada has already done enough to amaze the world. But people don't know about it. Knowing ISKCON is not what we want. That's okay. We want people to know Srila Prabhupada. ISKCON or ISKCON Bangalore or Akshapatra, and I've had many conversations about this with people. Those are okay, but that's not what it's about. People have to, just like Christianity is known because of who? Because of Jesus. And that's how it should be. He is the representative of God. And Prabhupada, if you read about Jesus, Prabhupada has said so many things about Jesus that even Prabhupada is promoting. Prabhupada says many places, he is our guru. Jesus is our guru. There's a whole book that somebody's put together that I left a copy in Bangalore. Some Western devotees, and they have taken many verses from the Bible, and then they've taken many statements from Srila Prabhupada. And their conviction is, when Jesus talks about the second coming of Jesus, who do you think that second coming is? That's Srila Prabhupada. These Americans are saying that. And Prabhupada, in his response, when that was suggested to him, he is admitting that he is that person. Because if you read all of Jesus' instructions, he's making it very clear what that person is going to do. How he's going to come, what he's going to teach, what kind of people will be his followers, how he will travel, when he will come. All these things are there. And if you study those things, you will see the connection. It's a big gap or jump for some people, but it's worth looking into. Okay, and that's not something that we want to promote at this point in time. But the point is that Srila Prabhupada has to be promoted as the person who can give guidance, advice to all the leaders of the world, and every person on the planet will have a reason to glorify Srila Prabhupada and to be grateful to him. So that person, Prabhupada would never promote himself. But what do we sing every morning when we sing Guru Puja? Your fame is spread all over the free world. I'm sorry? May your glory spread all over the world. So who do you think is going to make sure that happens? Krishna will make sure. Krishna will make sure. But he wants us to get the credit. He wants us to get the credit. Krishna will make sure. This is Mahaprabhu's 10,000 years in this one day of Lord Brahma. This is no ordinary event. This is no ordinary day of Lord Brahma. This is a very, very, very special time. We are entering into the golden age. So it's not going to be business as usual. Big changes are going to happen, and it's up to us to be the instruments to help that happen. Do certain things need to be changed? Yes. Within the organization, within the larger ISKCON, yes. And that some people will work on that. But by and large, to understand who Srila Prabhupada really is and to promote him, first within India, and then also at the same time within the NRI community, and then those that 1.3 billion people plus the NRIs, another 20-30 million, if they then become the ambassadors for Srila Prabhupada, right now the name of Jesus is spreading because of who? His followers. So I know that in Karnataka they did one book on Srila Prabhupada. MPP, CPP did. But the work now is going on to do another such production that will promote Srila Prabhupada all over India. We have to start there. So so before you can be talked about the formula or that Prabhupada is given for actually transforming the whole world, which is the India-American combination. And how it's the Americans who actually helped Srila Prabhupada take Krishna consciousness all over the world. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Americans. I wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be here, MPP wouldn't be here. There was everything was done by those devotees all over the world. So the partnership between all of us and our American brothers and sisters is very important. It's not like we want to establish India Heritage Foundation in our temples for the Indians. No. We have to think very seriously how to partner with the Americans and how to give them what they're looking for. Everybody's looking for Krishna. And they have reached out in small ways by greatly welcoming yoga and meditation and karma and more vegetarianism now. And this whole combination, this morning I was saying, by chance I watched the talks given by President Trump and Prime Minister Modi in Houston yesterday. And it's a new level of partnership that seems to be opening up now. So anyway, those are some opening comments about this topic. Anybody would like to say something? Questions, comments?
Srila Prabhupada was there a lot of Westerners, they were able to take up Krishna consciousness.
Right.
Karma. Now I think it has reduced significantly, that we see very less Westerners in many temples.
Yeah. Well, we're supposed to become experts. Okay, I'll ask you the question in reverse. You're working for Microsoft, right? Microsoft software, Office, let's say Microsoft software, the operating system. Are you using the operating system for 2019 or the one from 1998? Which one are you using? Huh? Why are you not using the operating system for 1998? It worked then. Yeah, and times have changed. Times have changed, technology has changed. The cars that you're driving now, are you driving late models or are you driving 1930 models or 1940 models? Which are you driving? Huh? Okay. What about cell phones? Using... You get the point? Times change. We're supposed to become expert in... We don't change the content, but we change the marketing and the packaging according to time, place, and circumstance. We have to constantly be doing that. Did Prabhupada change the marketing and packaging when he came to work with the Americans? Yes. So we have to think. You're saying that they're not coming to temples, but we just discussed they're taking to yoga and meditation and vegetarian in huge numbers. Huge numbers. Why are we not connected with those people? And many of them, if you talk to them, they've studied Bhagavad Gita, but not Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. I know that I've met many successful people who were into yoga and meditation. This was in Dallas. This was a family that had many jewelry stores. But they started following some other people from India. So I got to know them a little bit, and we went to one of their functions. And this was a long time ago, but this is just an example. So, they said that, we wanted to take to Krishna consciousness much more seriously. But we were told that we have to move into the temples, or near the temples, and shave our heads and put on dhotis and kurtas and tilak and saris, and and change our names and all, and give up our businesses, or those kinds of things. And they said we were not prepared to do that. And Mahaprabhu, what is his instruction? Don't change. Just take up these few simple things. We can call it mantra meditation. Mantra meditation is Maha Mantra. People are already turning into vegetarianism, the vegan movement, the vegetarian movement. So we can enter through that door. Same with yoga. People are now trying to understand more about yoga, karma yoga. People who do hatha yoga, now they talk about karma yoga. If you go to some of their special sessions that they have, then they'll do a weekend on karma yoga. But they don't really know what that is. Then they'll do a weekend on some other kind of yoga, Even some of the second generation of devotees, they're doing kirtan yoga by going to these yoga studios, and they're starting to do chanting and things like that. So my point is that that whether it's we talked about retreats or other ways to connect with those people, we have to figure out how to do it. That's our responsibility, and Krishna will help. I've said before that what I've heard is Prabhupada actually he predicted that the expansion would come now by people practicing in their homes. Even all of you, how many of you are practicing in your homes in the morning as compared to being here in the temple for Mangalarti? Most of you have, it's practical to do it at home, right? So that's how it's going to spread. The temple becomes an important place for training and congregating for certain functions. But the daily practice will be at home, people keeping their jobs and keeping their families together, and doing the sadhana at home, and starting maybe in small ways and expanding. And okay.
Some of the challenges of devotees who have not gone through rigorous training, and there's also like when somebody joins full time, giving up everything, there's a complete sense of surrender to the Bhagavad. And obviously, that's just the beginning, and then there's an illusion of consciousness that happens as well.
Mm.
Do you have any ideas of how do we sort of inculcate that or bring that into this kind of a model when people are being outside? How do we ensure that the same kind of seriousness and commitment and dedication to Prabhupada and his mission?
There'll always be different levels of commitment, and at different speeds people move. So we have to become expert at recognizing those levels of commitment and the speed people want to move, and not feel threatened or concerned if somebody is moving too slow or somebody is moving too fast. We have to become detached from all of that, because the magic of the holy name, the holy name has its own potency. Krishna is there in the holy name, and if people just take that up and gradually reduce their sinful activities, they will move at a certain pace, and the Lord will be there to inspire them. So it's not an answer that's in a discussion like this. I'm sure you're thinking about this every day as one of the leaders here, how to assist other people so they can advance more quickly. And you'll keep doing that. It's not going to change. You'll be doing that the rest of your life. So every day you'll get some new questions, and Krishna will give some new answers, new solutions, and some fine-tuning adjustment. It's going to be an ongoing process. But we always are racking our brains how to get prasadam into people's houses or their plates or whatever. There's so many ways to do prasadam distribution, so many ways. Everybody eats every day at least 2 or 3 times. We have to think out that whatever is going in their mouth, that somehow, whether they're buying at the grocery store or some restaurant or at a snack place or vending machine, or somehow it's prasadam. Then the holy name. People don't have to really know where it's coming from, but more and more they hear the holy names of Krishna. Then the whole environment, ether is purified, their lives get purified. Prabhupada's books, the more they get out, magazines, articles. I mentioned to you, Prabhupada said that the backbone of this movement is Back to Godhead magazine. Non-existent. Back to Godhead does not exist anymore. It's supposed to be the backbone, We used to in the I told you, my introduction to Srila Prabhupada was through Back to Godhead magazine. And that was the thing that that was a magazine that was being promoted. It would come out every month. And if you read Srila Prabhupada's orders on the magazine, he wanted even 2 pages to come out once a week. Even 2 pages. So that is a project that has gone pretty much completely dead. And then what does Back to Godhead magazine do? It gives people enough of an incentive to then want books. So the books are built on the foundation of Back to Godhead. You wanted Back to Godhead to be like Time magazine or Life magazine, things like that. We talked about dioramas. Changing bodies dioramas. We talk about using technology. Now you can, if Facebook can reach X billion people, and Amazon and Twitter and everything else that they have done, right here sitting in Silicon Valley, you can reach people all over the world. So maybe they don't get prasadam going through the computers, but they can get the articles, they can get magazines, they can get sound vibration. Who here has a problem with addiction? Anybody has a problem with addiction? Any kind of addiction? Sweets. But sweets that are coming from the Lord's plate. Okay, after Krishna is taken, then you like those sweets. Okay, what else? That's good addiction. Yes. TV. But you watch only Krishna's pastimes, right? That's all you watch on TV, right? Both. Well, try and find more channels where Krishna's doing wonderful magic things. What else? Yes. Restaurant? That's a good addiction also. What else? Prasadam, yes. Kirtan, yes. Prasadam is good. Everybody who likes prasadam, they should get an applause. Everybody who loves kirtan, they should get an applause. Everybody that is addicted to the holy name, they should get an applause.